What's up, you guys? I'm Eric and welcome back to my channel. No, you grow up. So I gave you guys a little bit of a tease earlier, but yesterday was probably one of the funnest days of my life. So Friday night, I just asked Lacy randomly if she wanted to go to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, just kind of hoping on a whim and a wish that she would, and she was totally down for it. Unless I take a trip to Windsor, I'm probably never gonna go to a Toys R Us again, which I'm trying to talk Lacy into doing, but that might not ever happen. So if it doesn't, this is probably the closest I'll ever feel to that Toys R Us feeling again. I've been to a lot of different toy stores at this point, but I have never been anywhere that's like Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. This place is just on another level. You have never seen this many toys in one place other than like an actual like toy show that's in a convention center or something like that. There's no bins you have to dig through. Every single figure is bagged and hung up. Everything is well organized. Everything has a place. I could spend all day in there. First thing I did when I got there was ask them what their policies on filming were. They told me there wasn't really any rules. I could pretty much do anything I wanted to, and I was like, man, that's awesome. Like, and then I kind of just started telling them, you know, I love this place. You guys are awesome. It's just really cool that you're that cool about stuff like that. So they asked me what it was for, and I told them that I had a YouTube channel. When I let them know that, they were like, before you get out of here, let us know and we'll have a couple things for you to give away. Okay, that blew my mind. They didn't even really ask me like anything about my channel, how many subscribers I had or anything like that. I could have had 5 subscribers and they still would have hooked me up, which was just unbelievable. So even when I was checking out and stuff like that, I wasn't gonna mention it again because I'm just not that kind of person. Like I don't know, it just feels weird to just, I don't know, I'm just not that kind of dude. They asked me if I got any good footage and I was like, of course I did, this place is amazing. And then he handed me something which was much sweeter than I expected. So they hooked me up with their Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S exclusive figure. This is a Kokomo Toys and Collectibles exclusive figure that you can only get through their store, or they sell them on eBay as well, and I'll put a link down there. But I was blown away that not only did they give me this, but they gave me a second one as well. So he said I could have one to keep, I could have one to give away, and I cannot tell you guys how awesome I felt in that moment. I turned right to Lacy, I was like, I just got goosebumps. Like, again, did not go there expecting anything free or anything like that at all. And just, if they would have gave me anything, I would have been happy. But these figures are way cooler than anything I would have expected them to give me. So, stick around to the end of this video and you can find out how you can be entered in a chance to win this figure. So, I opened up mine this morning. And I'm not bullshitting you guys at all. This figure completely changed the way I think about 3 3/4 figures. I'm gonna do a full review on this figure, and it's not like I'm gonna cross over from 6-inch collecting to 3 3/4, but I'm definitely gonna get a couple more of these figures to go with her. I'm very excited to do the review for this figure because it's the first time I'll ever be able to really review anything that I have zero connection to. I can be completely objective about it. Like, this is, again, not something, it's something I knew about, but not something that I really ever paid attention to until now. So again, just stick around to the end of the video and figure out how you can win her for yourself. So on top of going to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, which was just already awesome by itself, we always go to this bar across the street and get food, and food's always great. Had a couple drinks, started snowing, just a very magical December day basically. Had to drive back in the snow, and it was the kind of snow that it wasn't really like piling up and making the road slippery or anything, so it was just a nice fun drive back. And then we got back here, and we finally did our first full playthrough of Turtles in Time on the cabinet back there, and we had a blast. We were about halfway through it, and Lacy turned and looked at me and goes, "This is way funner than the couch." Tell me I didn't pick the right person. So I'm going to show you guys kind of all the highlights from yesterday, all the really cool stuff I saw. We'll go over my haul, we'll go over Lacy's haul. And again, stick around to the end and figure out how you can get entered to win that Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S Kokomo Toys exclusive figure. And just one last shout out to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. Thank you guys again for just being so nice to me yesterday, for hooking me up with the figures, not only to give away on my channel, but just one to keep. Again, that is something that just will be special to me forever now. Alright you guys, so a little disclaimer. This was kind of a spur of the moment trip for us. We didn't really plan it or anything. Typically the only time we go there is around March, and it's never really that busy when we go there. But today it was far and away the busiest I'd ever seen it. I've never really filmed in public before, so felt a little bit weird about it. So I was trying to do my best to get footage and stuff like that whenever anybody like wasn't in an area. I was kind of being a little hasty with it, and I'll be honest with you, most of the footage I got kind of fucking sucks. bear with me for this one, and what I plan on doing is when I go there again in March, I'd like to reach out to the owners. I'd like to get a hold of them ahead of time and see if I can go there on a day when I have more time and I'm not rushed, and I can do a way better job of taking pictures, video, and everything else, so I can just really show this place for what it is. I don't think I'll ever be the caliber photographer that can do this place justice, but next time I'll do a much better job of getting videos and pictures of everything. Alright, so the first thing you see when you walk in the store is a ton of NECA stuff, and you guys know I'm a pretty big fan, and recently, Lacy, you just got your first NECA figure. Which figure was that?
It was E.T.
Yeah, how do you like that figure?
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she might have picked up her second one here too, so we might see that at the end of the video. They also had a ton of the re-release Turtle stuff mixed in with this stuff. So they have a ton of Power of the Force 2 stuff, and I know I haven't really talked about that line much on here, but that was actually my last favorite action figure line as a kid. So again, sorry all these shots are so rushed. They had all their play sets and stuff like that inside the windows, and they had a ton of super sweet ones. So this is about the only chance I had to get any video in the pop aisle. It was super busy, and that's where all the Marvel Legends and X-Men stuff is. Lacy, you spent a ton of time in that aisle. Did you see any pops that you might have wanted that might have been a little too expensive or anything like that?
Nothing that I can remember in particular, but there was a lot of cool ones in there. Just random stuff that you wouldn't expect to be a pop.
There you are right there. Got a little candid photo of you there. Your first time on camera for everybody to see. They had a ton of open Marvel Legends, and I actually ended up finding a figure from here that I was pretty excited about. They had a ton of Hot Toys, and they're way too rich for my blood, so I just like to call them dolls and pretend like they're not that cool. Got a little more creeper footage of you over here. So the one thing that I did try to make sure I tried to make sure I got some good video of the big three. So this is the Transformers cabinet right here, and they had a ton of figures in there. And again, it's not a line that I'm super familiar with, the OG Transformers, so it's cool seeing all these figures that I've never even seen some of these before. I was born in '87, so all my Transformers experience with toys anyway was the G2 toys, which I'll actually have something along those lines coming soon as well for my collection. Moving over to Joe's, they probably had 1,000 Joe figures in here. They didn't really have as many vehicles as they usually have, and the last time I came here, they had a flag, and it's the only time I've ever seen a flag before, but they had a ton of really cool figures in here. The one really cool one that I've never seen in real life before was the Alley Viper, and it's so funny because that figure just sticks out like a sore thumb in this line. All these figures are at least pretty uniform in a sense, and the bright orange is there's nobody else is really in that scheme other than him. Again, just so many cool Joe figures in this case. Like I said, I bet there literally is about 1,000 figures in here. Moving over here to some of the vehicles that they do have, and again, I feel like they usually do have a lot more vehicles than this, but there is some pretty sweet ones in here. Not only did they have a ton of vintage, but they had a ton of modern figures as well. Pretty much every Joe that's out right now. And they had an insane amount of Sergeant Slaughters here. And again, just about the same price you'd get it if you got it online or any of the e-tailers. Coming over to the Motu stuff. Really cool seeing all these vintage figures. Again, I'm super familiar with Origins and all the modern stuff, but these were figures that nobody I really grew up with had or anything, so I'd never really seen any of these vintage figures as a kid, and seeing them now for the first time is pretty sweet. Again, it's just awesome to see how all these characters translated into their Origins versions, and it's awesome that even though I wasn't there when this line was out, I get to be here now for Origins, and it's kind of like just getting it for the first time. Old school fans have the nostalgia, but for me, it's something brand new and fresh. Alright, so now we are on to the main event. The reason you guys know I probably came here. This is my favorite thing about this place. I have never seen vintage Turtles figures in this abundance anywhere else before in my life. I've been to a ton of different toy stores at this point, and no place has the selection that Kokomo Toys and Collectibles has. I would say that this kind of falls in the middle of the amount of figures that they've had in the times that I've been here. And this case has literally been almost overflowing with figures. I've came here and there's been a little bit less than this, but again, I always find awesome things. I always find stuff that I want, and I never even come here looking for anything in particular because I know I'm just going to be able to find a ton of things that I want. Alright, so Lacy found the Polly Pockets over here, and I actually just recently got her favorite one for her birthday. Do you want to say anything about that?
I did, yeah. I have one from my childhood that I remembered, and I have some sentimental feelings towards it, and he surprised me and found it on eBay and got it for me. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so it's really nice to be able to share something like that with someone else that I love. I was so busy looking at all the crap on the shelves that Lacy told me to look up, and there was a ton of sweet stuff up in the balcony. So they had that life size, I'm pretty sure that's a NECA Slimer up there. I think they're like foam or something like that, but he looks super sweet. It'd be really cool to have one of those. And here is a first look at the figure that you guys will have a chance to win in the giveaway. So every single one of those figures is the same figure. She just comes with a ton of different accessories and gear. They did have another exclusive in the case, and next time I go back there in March, I'll definitely be picking up that figure as well. Their prices are significantly better than eBay, so this is pretty much the only place I ever buy vintage figures now. There's some figures in here that jumped out to me right away, and I pretty much had everything that I wanted figured out almost immediately. So I gave you guys a teaser earlier, so you know one big thing that I'll be walking away with out of this cabinet, and it's something that I've never seen here before. So I was super stoked that they had one of the giant sized turtles. I've never seen one here before. I've seen them at other places. I've seen super beat up ones without belts and weapons and stuff like that, but never one in this kind of condition. And again, I thought it was a super good price, so there was no way I wasn't going to pull the trigger on it. Alright you guys, so here's everything we ended up getting. So, making her debut on my channel is my girlfriend Lacy. Say hi to everybody, Lacy.
Hello.
She is very apprehensive about doing this, so you guys have to make sure you are very nice to her and not mean to her in the comments, or she might not ever come back to play with us.
I don't have any social media, so...
Yeah, she's not really an internet person. So anytime I go to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, I'm pretty much just trying to get OG Playmates figures. They have the best selection I've ever seen anywhere. So this time I ended up going a little bit of a different route. Instead of just getting a bunch of Playmates figures like I usually do, I ended up getting a few, but I also ended up getting that jumbo Michelangelo. There was no way that I wasn't going to get this guy. He's the cleanest, best looking one I've ever seen before. Typically, anytime you see these guys, their paint's all smudged. They have all kinds of dings because they've been in toy boxes and stuff like that. Their belts are usually in terrible condition, but this guy looks amazing. He is just super clean. Trying to get him in frame here. Other than this little smudge on his chest right here, I mean, he's about damn near perfect. I cannot believe how good of condition he was in for the price that I got him for. These things are usually very expensive when they're in good condition like this. Very happy to score this. The second I saw him, I knew he was coming home with me. Usually when I go there, I don't have any particular figures in mind. I just end up getting anything that I feel like getting that day. I can't remember which video it was, but I know at one time I said that Storage Shell Raph was one of my top most wanted figures, and he was there, and I couldn't have been happier to find him. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned Sewer Spitting Raph in another video too, and he was there as well, and they were almost just sticking right out like I was supposed to get them. They also had a complete Sewer Spitting Michelangelo, so I had to get him too. That's one of my favorite sublines. It's one of the later ones that came out, and it's one of those that really pissed off your parents. And I showed Lacy how awesome it was the other day, and how impressed were you with how far my turtle could squirt?
I was so impressed.
Awesome. Yeah, so I forgot how even good these things worked, but they're one of my favorite ones. His colors are just so awesome. We'll start taking a look at some of these guys. So he's one of my favorite ones that I had. So this guy just screams early 90s. His neon pink and colors, like, they're just so bright. I just love this line. Like I said, it just reminds me of the 90s. It reminds me of my childhood, like all these figures do. This one is in super good condition too, and they're really hard to find complete. He's almost always missing this accessory right here, his little Slurpee or whatever it is. So I'm really happy that he came with all of his accessories. Typically, I only buy complete turtles. It's a lot harder to find their accessories and usually more expensive to piece them together afterwards. So I typically will only try to get complete turtles, and that's another thing that's really nice about Kokomo Toys and Collectibles is pretty much everything in the cabinet is complete, so you don't really have to worry about it. So again, the other one I was super stoked to get was the Storage Shell Raph, and again, all of his accessories, and he just looks super good. Got a little bit of smudge right there on his chest, but other than that, he is pretty clean. Everything looks pretty good on him. I'm super stoked to have him with all of his accessories. So that's 3 of them that I have down. The only one I'm missing is Mikey, and that'll be another complete subline for me. And Again, probably my second favorite one after the Turtles in Disguise. Taking a look at Mikey, he's not one that I ever had as a kid, but again, just super fun. His guitar's a little bent on the back, so that's kind of a bummer, but again, great prices on these guys, way cheaper than you'd ever find them on eBay. So now I'll just be on the hunt to try to get the other two bros to complete that subline as well. So as I was just saying, I like getting most of my figures complete, and I kind of broke one of those rules to get this Jubilee. She was only $25, and complete she usually goes for a little bit over $50, which is just a little bit more than I wanted to spend on this figure. So the only figure that I don't have for my 90s X-Men team is Professor X, and I'm really happy that I'm only one figure away from completing my first X-Men team. And then we'll give you guys a little sneak peek of this figure. I'm gonna do a full review here coming up. And again, stay tuned to the end of this video to find out how you can be entered to win this figure. Yours will be the one that has not been opened. This is the one that I'm keeping. And again, this figure is just amazing. I cannot believe how good this looks for a 3 3/4 figure. I was on BBTS today looking for some other ones to go with her. I'm not going all in on this line by any means, but there are some other cool figures, and again, I'll probably just get like 2 or 3 more to go with her because it's just a really sweet figure and I just want to get a couple more to check them out. So, what figure do you want to talk about first?
Princess Bubblegum.
Okay, talk about Princess Bubblegum. Why'd you pick her?
Okay, well, I like Adventure Time.
Okay.
I watch that show on a regular basis.
It's a good show.
We haven't watched it a lot lately.
Nope.
But I watch it on a fairly regular basis. And I just like it. I like the figures. I looked at buying the Lego set for it. It's like $100 on Amazon. But I have the Princess Bubblegum Funko Pop instead. I have the Jake Funko Pop. So I wanted her to go with it. But it was out of the box, so I take them out of the box anyway, so that one was already out of the box, and it was a good deal, so I bought it to go with Jake.
If you want to take them out, it's fine. Some people take them out. I don't take them out just 'cause, I mean, they're just easier for me to store, so that's why I don't take them out. But a lot of people do, so that's fine. Exactly, taking your toys out is more fun. You're correct.
Okay.
Tell us about Ghostface. I was actually surprised by Ghostface, honestly. If I was going to get you a NECA figure, this is definitely not the one that I probably would have got you next. So why did you go with Ghostface?
What would you have gotten me?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but I mean,
Right.
The first one was an easy one. Getting you E.T., that was like an easy first
Yeah.
choice. Like I had no problem with that one.
I mean, I like 90s, early 2000s type horror, like we talked about that. I'm not super into the classics. I also don't like things that are extremely gory. I like the 90s and early 2000s type horror, and I think I have fun memories associated. The way you're smiling.
In the first movie, I feel like it shows the boyfriend, his guts are all like hanging out of him. He's hanging from a tree, isn't he?
That is true, and she does hang from that tree as well. But I feel like it also just feels. I feel like 90s and early 2000s movies like that are more. They feel like pretty cheesy now if you watch them. But also I think it's just the fact that, I'd always get together with all my girlfriends and we'd watch scary movies, and that was fun. And also just I'm getting into Halloween like a lot more over the past few years.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about our plans for Halloween for the next
you.
year. So yeah, so I think it also kind of goes with that.
Guy, tell us about the little robot guy.
Yeah, the little robot. So every time Eric and I go to Kokomo Toys, I buy like a little something, like one of those, or I'll usually buy like an enamel pin or something like that. Just something fun every time we go there, and I have like an enamel pin collection, and so I bought that instead. I don't know, they're called Creepalings, I think it's called, and it's just like, I like little creepy things like that. Like I really like Tim Burton stuff, I like claymation a lot, and so I just like the little creepy things. Like I got him and I put him in my office. I like hid him beside a candle. So.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. I told Lacy whatever she did not to knock over the camera, and I just knocked over the camera. So, this might be on a little bit of a different vantage point now, but we'll get back to things. What do you like about this figure?
It looks like Ghostface. Wink, 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 wink. That's
it?
all
That's all you like about him? There's nothing else in particular you want to
No, I mean,
like about this figure?
I just look at him and he looks like Ghostface, and it just reminds me of the Scream series. I just like the Scream series in particular. That it's fun. Just remind me of when I would watch horror movies with all my girlfriends when we were in high school. We'd get together, spend the night at somebody's house.
The one thing I will say is this is the first NECA figure that I've ever opened that isn't a TMNT figure, and he was a pain in the ass to get standing. His pants really limit the range of motion in his ankles, and he was definitely hard to get balanced.
I like this t-shirt she's wearing.
What's going on that t-shirt?
And, well, this t-shirt in the very beginning of the series, oh, fuck.
Marceline.
Thank you. In the very beginning of this series, Marceline gives her this t-shirt. And so by the end of the series, you find out that they're dating. I think that's cute. I know, I love that. So, yeah, I like her t-shirt, and, you know, she's got a thumbs up. She's Princess Bubblegum. She always has a good attitude.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that about her.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Okay, you can put her back.
She can go with Jake now. There's this little robot guy.
What you like about him?
I just, you know, it's one of those surprise. There's like, I don't know, there's like 23 of them. There's a whole bunch in the package, and it comes with a little comic, and that's pretty cute. I like that.
Alright, one last huge shout out and thank you to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles for just being so nice to me the other day and for hooking me up with those figures. And if you guys want your chance to win this Vitruvian Hacks exclusive Kokomo Toys and Collectibles figure, what you will need to do is look out for my upcoming review of this figure. When you watch that review, I will give you details on how to enter during that video, and then after that, I'll take everybody that enters. We'll do a drawing. I'm either going to do that on a private video for subscribers only. I haven't decided yet. We'll work out those details. But one way or another, we're going to do a drawing, and I'm going to get one of you guys this exclusive figure. So that's all we got for you guys in this one. Thank you, Lacy, for not only going to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles with me, but for doing the voiceovers on this video with me as well. Again, she was very hesitant to do this, so if you guys are very kind to her, or at least just not very mean to her, hopefully she'll come back and want to do this again. Anything you want to say to these people before we leave?
No, just, I had a good time, and subscribe to Eric's videos. He's a nice guy, so be nice to him. Subscribe to his stuff.
Awesome, thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. I love
yeah,
you.
so thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you guys for commenting on my videos, liking, and just sticking around. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Feel free to chime in with your 2 cents. Your opinion is always valid here. So take it easy, be safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I really want there's a sweatshirt on Etsy that says, "No, you hang up."
What?
Oh my God,
Faith
farted. It smells so bad. You hated that so
no, that's
much.
good. It's all gonna go in there. Like, this is gonna be. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna edit all this. It's gonna take me all night. All right, Lacy. What is your favorite part about going to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles?
I like when you drive me there and I don't have to do anything.
What's your favorite part about being in the store?
Oh, okay.